Bros Play!
Okay. You, brother, can't hear the music, but will later. So
It's sexy music.
I can promise you it is good music. How do I just start again? Why is there no new game? Why does load...
I guess mission
you just have to
select
just start
chapter
the-
1.
That feels weird.
Do you only get one save game?
I don't know.
I'm very disappointed with only one save game. Just in general, like sharing
Yeah.
the console must be a real pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Although I guess you can log in separately, right? Like on the console,
on
you
different,
can log in.
Yeah, you can do that. Ratchet and Clank, the remake, the 2016 remake, the reimagining, which is the most obnoxious fucking thing. Resident Evil 2 got a reimagining that everyone called a remake, and everyone was like, greatest game. And
Well,
I played.
Am I
and
missing
said-
something? Or
I said, felt good. Yeah.
shouldn't a reimagining be a different game? Like right, we've reimagined it into something else.
Yeah.
Right, not the same game.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's okay.
I'm stepping on your toes already.
Don't step on my toes.
God, because there's a snake in my boot.
All right, so this is Desperados 3. It's a real-time tactics game, not to be confused with a real-time strategy game. This game is more micromanaging. You're playing individual characters with special abilities rather than creating units and sending them out to war. This is actually an actual story that you're following. So right now I'm a little boy. This is my daddy over here.
Oh, you're a boy. Okay,
I'm a
I didn't
boy.
even notice that.
I'm a down-home boy. So the camera moves separately to my character.
So you're moving both at the same time.
So I can move both at the same time if I want to. I can also tap down on the D-pad and keep the camera on me. But it's very difficult to play that way because you really need to know what's going on. What's also really cool is a lot of real-time tactics, a lot of isometric games give you one camera angle. This one, oh, wow. You're really going to embarrass me like that. I haven't
for the
I haven't
tutorial.
been told how to move the camera, so I can't. That's the kind of confidence they
that
had in the
backfired.
audience.
Oh,
But you
that's
know,
brutal.
like this game is so fucking difficult to think that
I'll throw one of my coins.
You're really not gonna let me. Oh,
Get him to turn his head. I'll do the rest.
this controller. Yeah, this controller has steps on the triggers.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't register if the step is too low for this game because every game has a different level of expectation, right?
Multiple options. Did he just knife the shit out of that guy?
He just threw a knife into a man and
Oh!
picked him up.
Picked him up like nothing.
Yeah. I can't even zoom in.
What I do love is that in all of these like stealth. Oh, and he just vanished. He was
bushes
reclaimed by the earth.
gobble people up. They just disappear.
I would not feel comfortable going into a bush that could consume a body that quickly.
I would not feel comfortable crouching with my arms out like a bird.
I don't know about you, but I don't think I've ever seen a bush in real life that's dense enough to hide in like that.
Yeah. So showdown mode is really cool, which apparently I'm not allowed to do until I read about it. And so I can stop time and say throw coin at horse, and then I can go back to time and press a button when I want him to do that
Oh!
and knock out the dude with the horse. Yeah.
Oh, that was ruthless.
But so this, I don't think I've played a game more balanced than this game. It's unfucking real how good the balance is in this game. So knocked out people won't set off alarms if found, but they also wake up and have to be tied.
So you have to tie them up.
And not
Okay.
every character can tie. Some characters can knock out, some characters can kill. Some characters can kill bigger enemies other people can't kill. It's so well done.
It's intricate.
It's incredible. And this company's been working on these for a long time. They did some sort of ninja version of it. It was like something about the Shoguns or something. It's not nearly as good, but you can certainly tell when you play it that it was like going in this direction. This one really fucking hit it. I have never seen footage from the other Desperados games, but
Keep your head down. There's more of them.
The company tried its luck with Ninjarados, and it didn't really go anywhere.
until they found and then they tried Pandorados, and that didn't work very well. Now, is that pandas or is that pandering? You'll never know.
I thought pandas,
Yeah.
but in this day and age, who knows? Okay, so,
So
you
this-
can like query each of the people to get their
Yeah.
details.
You can find out which of these 3 queers is the queeriest.
Right. Oh, okay. And I see that the way their view cone works. That's awesome.
That was a ham-fisted joke. I'll just apologize for that. Not because it's offensive, just because it wasn't very good.
You're okay with offensive jokes. You're just not okay with weak jokes.
Yeah. So you use this. So you hold the button on the D-pad and then move it around like a cursor, and you can leave it there so you can see where the guy's cone is. But if someone like this guy will see me if I stand, see how the hatched means that if I'm crouched, I won't be seen, but if I stand, I will.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well, we're also on easy, so like there's a lot of time that I have before
they shoot you.
Oh, well, then never mind. Oh, really? He just dies. Oops.
Oh, there's a bunch of them. Oh no.
Yeah, there's over here. I believe there's there's a lot of guys.
Oh my god.
They're just murdering.
Just
me.
blasted.
They're just murdering
God.
me. And they say some of the most obnoxious. Oh, I was told to quick save back there and I didn't.
You're the best.
I bet there's no saves. We have to do that again.
Oh man. Well, this is why you shouldn't explain things to me.
Fair.
Just go on. Just be like, you know
Fine,
what?
fuck it.
Who cares if he understands?
Who cares about exciting game design features that very, very few video games ever implement?
Exactly. I'm glad you understand.
Yeah.
So where's your dad right now? Oh, he's crouched. He's on the other side of that thing there.
Yeah.
Would you stop your belly aching and get over to the place where I can sneak past you?
They say so many repetitive, annoying things.
Well, that was faster.
Like every time they're after you, there's always a guy who will say, "Whoever finds them gets their stuff,"
Really?
and like on repeat.
Oh.
It's actually very annoying.
I really
and you
feel
can't. The only video game I've ever played that lets you change the frequency of dialogue is Rogue Trooper.
Get him to turn his head.
It does?
The rest.
It lets you change how frequently your chip friends speak to you. You can say only important things, everything or nothing.
Wow.
Only fucking game I've ever played that has that kind of.
To this day, just
Option.
one of the best put together games.
But it's made by the people who do Sniper Elite, so like they're
Oh,
they're still
nice.
knocking it out of the park.
Okay.
It just doesn't have the same. There's no charm.
Yeah.
Sniper Elite has no fucking charm. You have to create it yourself. Like if you're making a video about it, and I was trying to make a one about the 5th game, but whoops. But I was just like, this would only be retreading old ground. There was nothing for me to add.
Oh, right, because you did Sniper Elite 4 already.
Yeah. And I was like, what would I do? Pick another Queen song?
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone would complain specifically, but yeah, if it's a rehashing.
Yeah, well, if Spider-Man 2 is good, I'll definitely make a video about it. And I will very likely pick another set of Royal Blood songs to mix in to be like thematically appropriate.
Okay.
Right.
Well, speaking of Spider-Man, have you seen all the new ones, like all the Tom Holland Spider-Mans?
Yep.
So I just rewatched the last one, No Way Home. I still think it was incredibly irresponsible to name them.
All Homes?
No, so they were named Far From Home and No Way Home. And it's like, really?
Yeah, well, it's Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, so they're all homes.
Yeah, which I thought was kind of irresponsible. But regardless, I went and watched the last one, and it's honestly really charming. Like,
Very.
The fact that they brought together all the Spider-Mans that we know from our lifetime, right?
Yep.
Was just
And they all got to reprise, like the other two guys got to reprise their roles.
yeah. So I thought that was really well done, and I know there was definitely some gimmicky aspects. Like a lot of the modern Marvel movies do feel kind of gimmicky, but I was just watching it and thinking like, I like this movie. I'm a big fan.
Corridor did a thing on it when they were reacting to a leaked shot of Andrew Garfield in a Spider-Man suit, and they were like, "It's not fake, but we don't know what that means." And I can't remember if they ended up saying like Oh, and also this video is sponsored by Sony or something. I forget if that's how it went.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah. So I gotta
Yeah.
distract this
Picked up
guy
these.
so that my daddy can stab this man, and then somehow make the gap as fast as possible.
Dude, that's like Looper, where he throws the brick at him and then crosses the distance and bashes him.
Before he comes to.
Yeah, I don't think I remember that.
That's how Bruce Willis does it.
Don't mind me.
Yeah.
Dude, no way you can carry him too.
Yeah, but smaller characters, they drag.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dude, throw him.
Of
Throw
course,
him.
of
Yeah,
course.
no
I'm
need
not
for the
gonna
bush.
I'm not gonna, yeah.
Attaboy.
Fuck the bush.
Let's go.
Just disappears. Just,
Kind of turned him into a fish, like he kind of flopped as he went over the edge.
All right, spoiler alert. This is where the camera can be turned. As soon as they
gotta
let
get
me.
moving.
There you go.
Oh. I
Oh,
see.
I could do it the whole time, but the step on the right trigger was off.
All right, so no more hatred for Desperados.
Yeah,
That
my
is 100% a
apologies.
Mitch problem.
My apologies, me games or whatever you're
Don't
called.
matter.
Did
See
that door just?
crane up there?
Did a ghost open that door?
I
Make it to
think
was
it might have
pressure.
just not been, yeah.
That was pressure, air pressure. Yeah, there you go.
It wasn't slashed.
So, boy, it's ever disorienting without sound. We're working on the Patreon to get $8 so we can afford an HDMI cord,
Mm-hmm. So, if you want to send us one.
which
just,
is a joke. There's no Patreon, but we should. There should be a Patreon.
Okay, I was going to tell them to put it in an envelope and just write SuperNotCool on it, but it would 100% get returned.
Plenty left.
Just for fun. Oops. So that's the downside to the coin, is that it also
picked up
I
these.
attracted the other guys, right?
Oh, okay. So you're trying to attract everyone to look the same direction.
No, just that guy.
Oh, so you just put it too close to them. Okay.
Yeah, I
see.
got the other guys to turn around accidentally.
I really actually don't like the way they're showing you like the little the clues, the little that was vicious. This is a vicious game.
Oh, it's horrible.
But the little clues they show you, like highlight or quick save or whatever.
Yeah.
There's like an explosive flame first, and I keep thinking that you're walking through those fires.
Like don't run into the fire.
Yeah, exactly.
But fire is natural. Fire is clean.
Good job, boy.
Fire is definitely clean.
Have you
know
heard
your-
I Burn
You wait a lot.
by those guys?
No.
Oh. Yeah, well,
What was it called?
I Burn.
Who was it by?
I don't remember.
No, it was by those guys.
It's not.
I was specifically told it was by those guys, so.
No, it's like those guys.
Oh, those guys.
Yeah, not these guys or those guys, but these guys.
No, still nothing.
So now I'm an adult. Now I got my daddy's coin.
Oh, so your daddy's dead.
Yeah, I think he dies in that cinematic, and so you're after the people who killed him.
Never trust a human that can simultaneously disembowel and pick up another full-grown man.
Better throw a knife.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone did trust him to begin with, if we're being honest here.
Well, then stick with your gut, because that's some shit.
Anyway, he says fire is clean in I Burn.
Oh, yeah?
Fire is clean. Fire is something else.
Wheelbarrows.
So I have to pick up my knife. That's the downside. Or there's always a downside and an upside.
To each different move.
Yeah. And we're actually just gonna move right past these guys, I think. And then we're gonna. Can I sidle? Oh, that's not the way to go.
Shimmy. Can you
Oh, this is the way.
slide along?
This is the way to go? No. Oh, I want to get on top of the train.
I see. So you can't. So there's pretty obvious points where you can go to places.
Yes.
Like it doesn't.
The-
It's
the-
not hidden by visuals.
The visual clarity is pretty gosh darn good in this game. It's just very disorienting without the sound, which is funny because you don't actually use the sound, but yet I feel disconnected. Isn't that interesting?
It does make sense just because that's how we identify.
Yeah.
You just shot through that rock.
No,
Yeah.
it's line of sight.
Yeah, you shot through the rock. It's okay. Yeah, you just threw your knife through that rock.
It's line of sight. Line of sight's important.
So do you have
okay?
to stand up in order to do that? Like, was that how you got line of
No.
sight? No?
No,
No? Okay.
Don't you move, buddy.
The guy just really knows what he's doing.
this is this purple guy is called McCoy. He's actually one of our playable characters.
Nice.
We're gonna
I was
save
gonna
it.
ask because I saw 2 guys that were not.
We're gonna save him by shooting 2 men at the same time.
How many people can you shoot like that?
With the gun, with this gun, 2.
I'd say you
Okay.
owe me one.
And it's got a massive.
Looks like the bandit.
What's it called?
And so this here is the real McCoy.
He. Yes.
I would say I'm done, but I might not be.
Yeah. So now I can control both of us at the same time.
Whoa.
But the
okay.
downside to that is that we only move as fast as the slowest character, which is McCoy.
Because your guy does kind of look like he's running on a treadmill.
Because my guy runs like this, and McCoy runs like this. It's not massive, but it's noticeable when you're playing as
He reminds me a little bit of Gambit.
Cooper.
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh,
Just the
dude,
way
it's
he's
so
holding
funny
his
that you say
hat.
that because he talks like Gambit.
Really?
He's like, not sure I trust this.
That's awesome. That sounds like such a McCoy voice.
Am-
You know?
Like Soy Boy McCoy.
No. Well, just McCoy would not be like a. All right, gentlemen, let's move on. You know? He'd be a very gruff kind of. I've seen some winters.
That's
You know,
exactly what
that's-
he talks like that. He's basically said something like that too.
Bet he does. Anyone in the West has seen some fucking winters, bro.
I've seen some things thought you might want to know. And I quote McCoy all the time at work. I'll just be like, not sure I trust this.
There's no place to put that.
There's no place to put that.
Yeah, and you are right. That's one thing that I've. What the heck is that?
It's a doctor's bag.
Oh, so you can actually throw the bag out as a decoy.
Yep. And then this guy comes in and goes, what the heck is that? I better not get a knife in my neck. And then you can do 2 things at once. You can tell him to go there, tell McCoy to go and pick up his bag.
Oh, this is badass.
And you can't, unfortunately, go any further than that. It's really frustrating.
Huh.
It's just like 1 action at a time, which I would really like to be able to chain like 8 different things.
Or at least 2 or 3, like a certain balanced level of things you can do all at once.
Yeah.
But yeah, why else did we play all this math circus where you had to plan things 16 moves ahead if we weren't going to get to use that in our adult life?
Oh, well, we played Math Circus because the teachers didn't have that much curriculum.
I loved math circus though. I really did. Oh,
Yeah,
Oi.
there's not a lot like Math Circus. There really isn't.
no, Millie's math house was not the same.
Millie? I don't know.
Millie's
I
math
don't know if I
house.
recognize that.
Well, it was contemporary, and it was basically just the like 5 and under version. If Math Circus was like the 5 to 10 version.
You know, contemporary means now.
Contemporaneous, is that a word?
No. Contemporary, it might be a word, but it's not the word.
Wait, no. Contemporary does not mean now unless you say it generically. Because if I were to say Muhammad Ali and George Foreman were contemporaries, that means that they were at the same time as each other, right?
You're making too much sense.
I-
I don't know if I can argue with that.
I don't know, because you're right. If I said, yes, this is a contemporary thing, it would mean today. But there's got to be a way to say it for things of the past. Especially just for sports. I mean, how many sports discussions are there where it's like the greatest of all time, but how can you judge that when 2 of the greatest were in different eras, right?
You're right. It's just an artist can't be modern. They're contemporary.
Yes, because modern will always be a moving target. Unless you're a fucking fine art critic and you're like, oh,
No.
modern and postmodern art come from a very specific non-modern period of time.
No, it's because modern art is a specific style of art.
Right,
So
which
contemporary is the word for modern.
Correct. Because whoever named a certain style of art modern is a Neanderthal.
Yeah, artists are just pretending to not be cavemen. They're the biggest dummies.
Because yeah,
They say shit that's just like doesn't. It makes sense on Tuesday, but not Wednesday.
yeah, yes, there's a lot of that. But yeah, it always bugs me when people want to just like take words and just give them meanings that make no goddamn sense. And so I'm now realizing that their viewport starts to go yellow when they're like aware of you.
Yeah, I think. What? Okay. Did you see how that man got up with no arms?
He kind of ghosted his way up there. What? How did you just kill him?
The bag explodes.
What?
Yeah, and he gets all.
Safely.
That was really demonic looking at high speed.
Yeah, at high speed. Yeah,
It looked like the girl from The Ring.
Yeah, some people they steal words. They're word stealers.
Yeah, and you
They're just
can't
like-
have them.
We should start saying unalive because I'm offended by the word death. But if I consider unalive, I feel like it's different than it is, even though it's still not being alive.
Well, I've certainly noticed that just general online content moderation, which kind of has to be done in these big, crude, broad strokes, really is changing the way people speak.
Yeah.
Right? Because people are trying to avoid, certain words, and self-deletion becomes the way. That's what people are starting to say, right?
Oh, it's
So,
so stupid.
It's only a matter of time before people are like, what does the proper word mean? Well, back in my day, before the content moderation, we used to use the original words.
There, in this very apartment, there used to be a magnet when my last roommate lived here that said it was a fridge magnet, and it said, "Think, it's not illegal yet."
Well, that's very timely.
Yeah.
That's reminds me of something. But yeah, isn't there another expression like that?
What's that?
I feel like now I'm gonna butcher it, but I thought there was one. It's like do something because it's free. Like that. Like think it's free or whatever. I don't know.
Because free thinking. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
It's
maybe.
very clever.
Maybe ignore me.
It's very clever.
I appreciate your pity.
So we can choose to not save these people.
So they'll kill them one at a time.
No. We'll just know that they didn't make it.
Oh, like you just sneak past, you mean?
Yeah, we can just go up this train thing, but I thought I don't know, I thought maybe we,
Well, I don't know. I mostly play these games to kill the bad guys, so I'm less concerned about saving the digital people and more concerned about the fun of killing the bad guys.
Okay, well then we can just go. We can just move on and say like, well, it sucks to live in that time.
No, kill the bad guys.
Okay, fine.
What did you think I said?
We were talking
Kill the fucking bad guys.
You were acting like they were two different options when we were talking about one different option.
One different option, correct.
So here's a cool thing.
Oh, there's 4. Oh shit.
Yeah, well, I can hit the highlight button. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
But if I right click on this guy, it shows the people looking at him,
No
not
way.
his cone.
Okay.
So we can go around and try to find the weak link and see like who isn't being looked at. Ooh,
No. Oh.
that guy is only looked at when this guy's looking the other way.
Ah, okay. So, I think the easiest thing to do. Man, this is actually complicated.
I can actually put it down here and say who's looking here. So we can throw a bag there and then get this fucking guy to come over to it.
Right.
And take him out. Only the problem is timing.
Well, as soon as that guy turns around, you should be good.
But we don't know how long it's going to take for him to walk. And then once he's on his way, if he gets to the bag, it will blow up and they will know.
But at least that takes out one, and then your other dude can pistol 2 of them.
That's true. I
and
could
then knife this. Oh, so I think once Doc places his bag, I'm just gonna call him Doc. Okay?
Yeah.
Once he places his bag, he can then go and execute the guy who's like right next to the rock, not looking. And then the other guy can shoot the remaining 2, whoever doesn't blow up.
Okay, yeah. So we gotta wait because Poncho guys won't. They won't investigate.
Poncho guys?
Yeah, the guy that's moving back and forth. He's a Poncho.
They won't investigate?
He's a Poncho pal.
I do love the visual clarity. Like you could see the red going down his line of sight. until
Mhm.
he hit the bag.
Yeah.
I hate fancy folk
Uh-oh.
like you.
Yeah, now's the time.
I didn't show down.
So that guy, yeah. And then the other guy is going to execute him. The shadow version is pretty sweet.
Let's keep moving.
Got him. Look at that. Oh,
Keep it cool.
don't forget.
Watch and
I
learn.
gotta kill that guy because he's not dead yet.
Oh, the briefcase hadn't exploded.
Ka-chow!
Whoever you are.
Well, no, the briefcase just
I'll send you the
Oh no, we set off the alarm.
Anybody find anything?
Oh, no. Does that mean you're actually going to draw all these people from the next stage?
No, I don't think you can at this point.
Not sure where this is.
So it's all good?
Well, there's no extra people at the moment, so
Yeah, I guess you do what you do. I'm. Oh, so all the people ran off, right? All those friendlies?
yeah, they ran into the
Okay,
train car. There's
okay.
one. You can still see the shadow of one.
Yeah,
of them.
that maybe was a little unrefined. That's okay.
See, I knew you had a heart in
You-
there somewhere.
Well, you don't think that's
Half a
you don't think that's a
person.
finished product right there?
Well,
That looks
it's a
that's
thing.
pretty finished to me. It's crazy that you can get all the way in here and they're actually surprisingly detailed for how small they are.
Yeah,
Even though the game
they-
is really intended to be played way out here.
They definitely designed these in 3 dimensions up close.
Yeah, probably a mix of both. And they did a great job with the coloring.
Still need the dynamite
Because,
to clear the tunnel.
So it's a blue, purple. One guy's orange. There's a green girl and then a red girl. And so it's really easy to tell who your specials are and where they are.
Yeah, and that's definitely got to be important, just because the number of colors we already have is kind of a headache.
Yeah, I hate I hate colors.
You happy with that ham-fisted joke?
Yes, that one I'm happy with.
Not a problem.
Yeah, this whole like the speed at which you do the setting up of what comes next is just creepy.
Yeah,
You
but
kind of remind
it's-
me of like an insect the way you
it-
scurry.
It balances things out
Sure
because
thing.
you can quickly make this happen, then watch it happen in real time, then do this, drop it, and then I can switch over to McCoy, press play, hit thing, and then he's over there doing his thing while I'm doing my thing.
It is awesome. Like
And once you have 5 characters, like they very slowly give you more and more characters.
well, because you could not like suddenly jump from 1 guy to 5.
No, that would be a
It
problem.
would be chaos.
People would consider that like a Swedish
Can
fireball.
you just whack this guy?
Ooh.
You should be able to just. I don't even think anyone's looking at him. I don't even think that guy can see him.
No, I'm used to playing this on Desperado, which actually doesn't even give you a slowdown in showdown mode.
Really?
Yeah, because it looks like an action game, but it's very much a puzzle game, right?
Yeah, exactly. How do you root them out?
So normally there's 2 extra. There's 2. Yeah, the yellow coats here. Those are like the guys that they'll add. They're like slightly harder, I guess.
Okay.
And so there's a yellow coat here and one that roams around on the harder difficulties, which is why I was just sitting here waiting for something to happen.
Because you
But
thought he was gonna show up.
it's just because this guy is just like hanging out on his own.
Yeah, because he's
Keep your
fodder.
heads down.
Like that. There was no chance.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I do love how you first notice that the people just disappear in the bushes.
Wow. At least they don't get gobbled up by them the way the dead guys do.
Yeah, there's a sniper man here,
Not
which
sure
we're
where
gonna
this is
tag
going.
team.
I do have to say his vision is pretty shit for a sniper.
Steady hands.
Like he can
He's-
only see within like 12 feet of his sniper perch.
He's probably drunk.
Won't miss.
Well, that I believe.
Steady. Let's keep our distance. Let's catch a few bandits.
then
Eyes on the target. All
That,
right.
save it.
Oh my god, you can quick save right before you implement your plan.
Yeah. What?
I think the second half of your plan failed.
No need to get bloody.
All right. Well, it's a good thing that the right combo happened.
Well, and those guys didn't have that gunshot at all.
No. So McCoy's sniper sound is very small,
Oh, so McCoy's the one with the sniper.
whereas
Okay.
this is the range of my pistols.
So it's much more limited.
So we're living in fantasy land, but that's fine. For a sniper rifle to make less noise than the revolver.
Well, yeah, especially in this era, they didn't really have suppression technology, at least not sophisticated.
They had blankets.
Just
That's advanced.
wrap it around the far
That's
end.
advanced enough for me. I don't need any more than that. We're on our way over here. We're trying to throw dynamite at this to get the train to move.
Okay, dynamite's in what? Those boxes right there? Oh, there it is.
The big barrel with dynamite
The
looking.
comical amount of dynamite sticking out of the top of it.
Yeah, it's visual. It's readability.
I've always had this like weird kind of not fear, but just this strange worry about dynamite ever since Lost. Because there's that whole, dynamite extraction episode, and it was just so jarring when it happened, like, when I saw it for the very first time.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
I do miss that show. Like, I really wish that the show ended a little bit differently, just so that I could get super excited about watching it again.
Because you just feel like it's... Wow.
Well, that shouldn't have worked out. Neither can see you? All right.
Oh, look how close I am.
But yeah, oh my god, look at that. Look how narrow that is. It's touching your right boot. Which is probably a snake in.
I was trying to come up with that.
Yeah, just the way it ended was a little disappointing. And like when it happened on TV the first time, it was fine. But I think to go back and rewatch it, it's just hard to get excited knowing that there's not like a definitive ending.
Yeah.
And actually, I found the same thing. I just watched The Mentalist, which we watched back on the day when it was on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great at first. And then, oddly enough, one of the actors from Prison Break shows up in like season 6, I want to say. And very much like season 4 of Prison Break, it just started to fall apart very, very quickly from there. And I kind of just felt like they did one of those endings where it's like, we ran out of money, so we're just going to give everybody the fairy tale they were looking for,
That's rough.
It is rough, especially because when I watched Prison Break, I watched 3 seasons and then I just abandoned ship every time. And it just sucks because I'd like to be able to bring it through to completion, right? The first season was so good. And the second and thirds are pretty good too, so for it to just kind of fall off is very disappointing.
Yeah, every time I watch,
This is so unfair.
what, the dynamite?
The dynamite
the unlimited
raining
supply
death.
of dynamite. I'm just trying not to hit this horse, just like not for any sort of achievement, just
You're trying to be nice to the
because
horse.
it's a horse.
Well, that's pretty kind of you.
And there's that old expression, never dynamite a horse.
Yeah, never.
Except for that one.
Pretty sure it's never dynamite a carted horse.
Yeah, and always be like, it's okay if there's a snake in your boot, if it's a potted snake.
Yes. It's very important to watch for potted snakes.
We just hit the train.
A little bit.
You can't drive the train.
Let's see what's happening here.
You can't do that.
I don't think you can drive the train anyways.
Oh, you think I can't conduct?
Dude, you're a desperado.
Dude,
You're not a train
you should know.
driver.
My guy has gold in his teeth, and you of all people should know that gold is highly conductive. You like
that makes him a conductor. Oh my god.
I ham-fisted several jokes so that the good joke came off better.
Oh, okay.
That's the opposite of a callback.
Is that like steak fisted? Do they have a term for
Guess you
that?
made the DeVitt company happy today. How much do you get for a job
Steak.
like this?
I believe, is a style of preparation,
Correct.
not
Not
the
beef.
content.
Yeah, not specifically beef.
So the game doesn't tell you about these badges and all the stuff down there. Don't use firearms and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't tell you until you're done.
That's pretty cool.
So, oh yeah, and also this.
Whoa.
This is a sped up. This is 32 times. I can actually bring it down to 1 time and just watch it exactly how it played out.
Well, that's unnecessary.
Just watch it sitting there doing nothing at all.
But this is actually really fascinating.
Yeah.
That's a lot of detail to add in.
I like watching it like this. It just makes you look like a
badass.
A demon. You just ripping
Look how
through.
long that guy went back and forth before you massacred everybody.
Yeah, that's why I kind of feel bad for these people as they're living in this wacky world. We killed every single human being except for those two guys over there on the right.
Lucky bastards. I didn't even see them.
You imagine being those guys? And then the boss is like, exactly how did you survive?
Oh my god, you would be hanged.
Like,
You would absolutely
those guys
be
are dead.
hanged. Yeah.
Those guys are dead.
Because you're
There's-
working with the
there's-
enemy, yeah.
There's no way.
But can you also imagine they finish up like their lunch or whatever the heck they're doing because they're clearly out of the way, and then they start walking up the train and they're like, I don't see anybody. Like, did everyone move on without us? And then they get to the end and there is an absolute bloodbath. Bodies, not just bodies, parts of bodies
Hearts.
from these fucking desperados that just
Yeah.
blew up all their friends.
I was just watching that beautiful Crowcat video about the difference between Back 4 Blood and Left 4 Dead. And did you just restart me?
Looks like it.
I probably pressed the wrong button. It probably said, do you want to restart? And I said yes. Because why wouldn't I trust? Oh, Buyer's
Well-
Pass is the second mission.
Either way, I blame you.
Well, I'm in control. So
Mhm.
obviously.
So you're to blame.
Yes.
Good.
Thank you.
Good.
I hear you.
Agreed.
Flagstone was one of the most popular colors of siding when I worked at KCAM.
Interesting. I wonder what a flagstone is, because I know what a cornerstone is.
It is pretty sure it's a stone you put the flag in. I
Oh.
don't think it's any more complicated than that.
That might
but
actually make sense.
I
So it's a
could-
base.
Yeah.
It's a base
it's
for
a
the flag.
Flag stone base
Okay. Well, like you know where the cornerstone goes, right?
in the center.
Yes. When you're building a house, you take one big cornerstone and you put it right in the middle of your house. And then you get 4 smaller cornerstones.
That's actually where the housing crisis came from. Is they ran out of cornerstones, so they had to use 1 per house instead of 4 per house.
So suddenly houses were made like turrets. They were all circular.
Like Rampart, it
while,
was like
yeah.
you must complete all walls.
Yeah, some people say that they did the circular turrets because they're more resistant to damage, but really it's because they ran out of cornerstones.
Yeah. So
Why
now
did your castle not have any vertexes?
we have now added? Well, not added. We've replaced McCoy with Hector, who has a bear trap
Oh my
that murders people
Oh.
by just crunching their legs off, and then they just die.
That is the most vicious thing you've done so far, and you've blown people up with dynamite and crushed people with heavy boxes.
Yeah.
But I would much rather get blown up with dynamite than crushed by a bear trap.
This is actually the mission that teaches you can kill people without conventional means. This is, what do they call them? Long coats. The only one that can kill a long coat up close and personal is Hector. Hector has way more health. He,
Oh, you guys have health, huh?
yeah, he's got 6 points versus 4,
And a brutal hatchet.
and a hatchet. Yeah, I can also change to my hammer fist so that I can upgrade from ham-fisted jokes to hammer-fisted jokes. Notice he can't he can't swim. He can swim. He can't swim.
Mm.
Can climb ladders. Ivies, and ropes.
Let's see Hector again. He can carry 2 bodies.
Yes,
That's awesome.
2 bodies at the same time,
And it says standing
and
fast.
and quickly. Yeah, he moves bodies like they don't even matter.
Dude, your other guy moved a body like it didn't even matter. So I want to see this now. You have to move these 2 bodies with
All right.
Hector. Hector looks like an orange splat, like a bug that got hit by the windscreen.
It's because it's the color of the bush.
Yes.
See,
He matches the bush
he matches the bush,
perfectly.
yeah.
He's camouflaged.
Was that a reference to something I don't understand?
No, he's camouflaged.
I left a voice line in my Mercenaries video where I'm like, the jammers aren't letting me use them. And there's no
You don't know why?
There's no reason for it. No, I do know why. It's because there was a joke I removed. The next part of the joke I removed.
Oh.
But I just liked it so much because it was just really a stupid way to say something.
Well, sometimes things don't have to have a meaning. They just being silly sometimes is enough.
Well, I've also noticed that one of my favorite things aren't always smooth or good or cohesive. Sometimes my favorite music is uncomfortable or difficult to listen to, or
Yeah, I know what you mean, and also it's kind of like don't know if I don't know if this was you and me talking about this or me and somebody else, but there's oh yeah, look at that. Like nothing. There's a weird thing where they started recording songs instead of doing it in one big felled swoop the way they used to. They've started recording songs in pieces and stitching them together.
Yes.
And it definitely makes for smoother sounding songs, but it does not make for songs that are more endearing. There's certain songs where if you hear like the new remastered studio version, it doesn't sound right.
There's a problem. So mastering is the levels and the sound quality. That's what mastering means. So a remaster means to redo that. And then the expression grew into this big colloquial term for redoing it, but better. And in my experience, it's not. Music is one of the only examples where remasters actually get better. And it's really just because technology wasn't as good back then. But there's so, like, have you seen Gears Anniversary?
I can't say that I have. Like, sorry, which Gears Anniversary or just in general?
It's called Gear. I think it's just called Gears 1 Anniversary or just Gears Anniversary. It's a crying shame. It's amazing. Some poor sucker development team had to go and make something that was already good, slightly gooder, but also betray the original art style, feeling, grit. Like, everything that made Gears of War is no longer there. But don't worry, it's a slightly higher frame rate. They redid the animations. They look like anime characters. It looks like Pixar.
Oh, God.
I promise you, the strangest thing you will see today.
How's it going?
The strangest mismatch you will see today is hearing John DiMaggio over a Pixar character. Everything good is gone. This man's he's just a bad
Just
place
like
to
that,
be.
man. Well, I mean, that guy really kind of deserved that when you consider he saw you guys walk through his fence and hide in a bush, and he just let
It's
you be.
easy. These people they're remedial.
They're remedial cowboys.
Yeah,
They-
well, I think a lot of the cowboys of this era
We're pretty remedial, yeah.
yeah, I mean, they probably didn't know how to read.
That's an interesting question. I would imagine that is probably true. A lot of them probably didn't know how to read. But I can also imagine it would have been really tough to be out in this land and like not be able to understand really basic stuff like, a wanted poster.
It looks like Jarvis here.
Well, that's why there was a picture.
All day.
Yeah, I guess so. You see a picture of your face and you don't know whether that means you're getting an award or if there's a reward for your head. Literacy is important.
Literacy is important. I was just watching a JonTron about this show called Real Ghosts, which was for some reason hosted by Leonard Nimoy for one season.
Oh my God.
And they're like, this Toys R Us is haunted because years ago there was an illiterate farmhand who killed himself by axing his leg, and then no one helped him. And they do
At
this.
a Toys R Us?
Yeah. No, like, it was not a Toys R Us when he died.
Oh,
it
in
was
the
like the
land.
1800s,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So they decided to do a reenactment of what it was like back then, even though all you needed to do was show a man hurt himself with an axe, because he didn't like kill other people, he just killed himself accidentally.
But they reenacted it? Or?
But they for some reason said he was illiterate, but then he gives a letter to the woman that he loves who rejects him, causing him to get so mad that he wildly flails an axe until he kills himself. But if he's illiterate, why was he writing a letter to her? Why wouldn't he just go, "Excuse me, this is how I feel"?
Oh my God.
Right? It's like, what? You guys didn't even read your own story.
Yeah,
It
so
didn't
they
even make any
butchered their
sense.
fake story. Oh my God.
Oh, you know what I can do? I forgot. I was just very distracted. So I can whistle and attract people.
So they'll actually walk into there?
Yeah.
Oh man. Never face check a bush. If there's
Face
anything
check.
I've learned. I
forgot that expression, face check.
Yeah. It's a good expression because it definitely applies to a lot of circumstances. You know, don't check something by going face first into it.
You see that?
That was pretty slick.
He was about to see the guy. So when guys die, they stand up, and then they fall over in the bush.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all you had to do
I
is
just realized
distract him long enough.
I just realized I didn't have to murder that man. I just had to get here.
Shall we?
That's all I had to do.
Wait, what are you trying to? You gonna?
Oh no! And
activate
now
this
I've
bow?
fucked up his pattern because he's looking for his friend.
So oh, that's a bull, not a horse. Okay,
Yeah.
I see. I see a red spot in front of him. I'm assuming that's not a good place to stand.
Yeah, that is the visual clarity.
So is there a red
Indicator.
spot behind the horses then?
Yep.
Oh,
Which is not easy to see.
Oh,
You remember that song by Atreyu? Did you ever listen to Atreyu?
not a ton, but I do.
Oh.
Whoa!
That was inappropriate. But hey, if you want to die on top of a shed
Shot after all.
instead of in front of a bull, that's your choice. Every man has his
Drag me into.
price.
So wait, I do find it funny that he can't see you on that other roof.
Yeah, it's hatched.
Right. Right.
I'm not going to explain this.
Yeah, don't explain why it makes sense.
What you're talking about. I'm just going to make up my own bullshit. Yeah.
Can you throw a coin still?
No, he would have to walk.
Oh. Oh, okay. That would be
Okay, what
awesome if you
would
could
happen?
just chuck it over your shoulder.
So I'm not touching it anymore. This is just him.
So he's probably gonna sneak
Yeah, he's gonna
all
go
the way
out.
through that guy's
We're just gonna
vision
delete that.
Yeah,
We're just gonna start a new.
Because I wish you could just do like an over-the-shoulder, 360 no-scope type coin toss.
So here's a fun little one. So our target. So we're after 4 targets in here.
Oh, did you already kill your target?
Yeah, the first target was Jarvis. That was this guy.
Oh, okay.
So we've got Wild Marge, we've got McBain, and the Duke.
Oh, so he's out in the middle of everything.
Wild Marge. I'm pretty sure they call her Wild because she's into women, and there's no other explanation to primitive brains.
Or why she's wild.
Yeah.
All right.
You remember? Oh, what was the
Let's find
show?
another way in.
The Flavor of Love. You remember the Flavor of,
Of course,
Love,
I
right?
remember
Yeah.
Flavor of Love.
There was this one girl whose name, I don't know if this is like her legal name, but the name she went by was Buck Wild.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so for whatever reason, the way that Flavor of Love would work is he would give all the women nicknames.
Oh.
So she comes in and she's like, my name is Buck Wild. And he's like, well, that works. So you're still Buck Wild.
Okay.
Such a strange show.
What any show pretending to be reality is a strange show.
And that's why I prefer competition shows. Because at least in a competition show, there's a winner and a loser. So like whether or not, all of you remember Deadliest Warrior?
I do.
It was
I was
the worst-
just thinking about that the other day.
It's the worst example of a competition show because there's no tangible competition. Right? You could maybe perform a little better on this test versus that test, but there was no objective way to say, you performed better and therefore you win. And I know a lot of shows still have judging. Judging's its own fucking animal. But that's why I prefer shows where it's like even like The Amazing Race. Like you either made it or you didn't. Right?
Right.
There's no way of saying like, well, I mean obviously they could fake it. But it's
You don't
not
say.
it's not like when you're watching a show that's just exclusively about fucking drama and it's like, well, how much of this drama is real and how much of this drama is just like good for television, right?
Right.
And I can't even imagine going on one of those shows where, the producers are probably in your ear all the time going like, hey, you really should punch a bitch because that'd be a lot more fun.
Yeah, Ego Raptor, Aaron Hansen. I don't want to call him Ego Raptor. Aaron Hansen was on one of those shows called The Tester, which was a bizarre show because the winner got a entry-level job at PlayStation.
Which he clearly did not need or want.
No, I don't know if anybody really cared about that because they billed it as working with gaming professionals, and it's like working with them, like or working in the same building as them.
It's a big difference, yeah. So are you just leaving your other guy behind because he's not, like it's just too cumbersome to have 2 people?
Yeah, I don't need them, and what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna poison the Wild Marge's drink.
Ah, okay.
And right now Hector is like disagreeing. He's like, if you're going to kill a man, oh that's right. He says, if you're gonna kill somebody, look them in the eye. And then
Hilarious.
Cooper's like, just like you do with your bear traps, and he's like, touche, my friend.
Fair point. Yeah.
Hector is like, he's that gruff guy that like, ah yes, we amigo, of course.
Is he supposed to be Spanish?
He's very Spanish.
Okay, yeah.
He's probably Mexican.
Well, I would imagine so, with a name like Hector and a Spanish voice.
A
Spanish language?
A Spanish speaking voice.
He has a Spanish
He
man.
has inherited his Spanish speaking voice.
You know how there's those moments where sometimes someone's describing a movie and they're trying to figure out the name of it, and you get the name like instantaneously. So then you're kind of sitting there going like, no, it's this. It's like, especially when it's a podcast, right? So Joe Rogan does it all the time where he's like, yeah, there was this movie where they did the thing and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, that's Ed TV. You're talking about Ed TV.
I was
yes.
just thinking about Ed
Matthew
TV.
McConaughey, Ed TV. Like, that's what it's called, Ed TV. And the other day they were talking about Adam Sandler, and he was in a movie called Spanglish back in like 2003, 2004. Totally not a movie that I would typically watch. Like, it wasn't like any of his other movies. It was more of just like your typical drama comedy type thing. And he was like, yeah, they did a thing where he had a wife, and they basically described the most boring movie of all time because there's not a lot of defining features. And I remember it being like instant, like, oh yeah, Spanglish. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, Ed TV was a good movie. I remember really enjoying like just it was one of the first looks at the consequences of fame, which has now been blown to an extreme proportion when you just look at like people whose lives, like, just, you know, even think about these family YouTubers, right? And how their lives are just totally out in the open for everyone to see.
The thing that we use, the browser we use, collects, what are they called? Articles, basically, from like everywhere. I thought it was like their own articles, but they're just collecting articles.
Yeah,
from
like Yahoo
other
News
places
or whatever.
Yeah. And so we see these articles all the time. I don't really read them, but sometimes the headline is good enough that you're like, oh, I think I understand. Which is, I'm now like exactly describing the problem, which is that we don't care about the truth. But anyway, it said the generation, it said social media babies are now growing up and they've got things to say. Because they didn't have input on whether their entire childhood was put on the fucking internet.
Yeah, that is definitely starting to happen where kids are starting to, you know, basically go after their parents for oversharing.
What I feel very lucky, privileged that that YouTube has not thrown me a bone for so long, because I've had all this time to think about how I really want to be and how I want to present myself. And I've been able to hear all these stories in the interim that I wouldn't have known about if I had just gone balls deep in 2015 and signed a contract and become a creator. I wouldn't be the person that I am today. And I would have fallen into the exact same traps as everybody else does.
I can see that.
It's way too easy to fall into those traps because they use the same sort of psychological bullshit that works on everybody, basically. Unless you're aware of it ahead of time, it's basically gonna work on you. And the type of stuff I hear about with contract bullshit and like, you know, we're just trying to get you what you deserve. We just want you to be part of a network so that you're not out in the cold. You know, it's like that kind of like gross executive management type of behavior that you hear about. And duck, Hector, duck, you fool.
Yeah, Hector's not very quick,
No, he's
unfortunately.
But that stuff happened to me before I was in content. I had a manager, or they made me a manager. And the words they said to me were that they wanted to see me making the money I deserved. And I realized later what they really wanted was someone to hold the bag.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, you're now responsible, you dumb fuck. Good luck with that. We're not going to send you email correspondence, so there's no proof that anything you do was part of our policies. So if something happens, we can just pretend that that's actually not how it works. You know, all sorts of wacky shit. It scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah, and I remember that.
I had this great, terrifying experience with a Ministry of Labor person who was like, you know, you seem like a conscientious young man. It's important that you know that if you're the manager that day, it doesn't matter how many managers are above you. You allowed the day to happen the way it did. So if something falls on somebody's head and that thing was always stored in that spot, it's still your responsibility because you were there and you let the day go. You said it's okay to work. Everybody continue working, right?
Well, and in extreme cases, there have actually been situations where the supervisor's been held criminally liable.
Right.
It does happen. You have to do some pretty, you know, some pretty questionable things for that, but it's not impossible.
Of course. But it scared me because I knew what the administration was like, and I knew that it was only a matter of time before something serious was going to happen. It wasn't an if. And it got me out of there faster than I've ever got out of any job before. In fact, I would have taken anything. It wouldn't have mattered what it was. I just got the fuck out of there. And when I'm leaving, they put another guy in my spot, and I said to him, I go, management is a racket. It's a bunch of bullshit. If it's not yours, it's a problem. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I said, did anybody tell you that they just want to see you making the money you deserve? And he goes, fuck!
And, the exact
and he
thing.
just stormed out of the room. I was like, well,
That's so
I've
funny.
done my diligence.
Yeah, you told him. Oh my god. The worst thing that I find is that so you know, you said the ministry, right? The ministry came out and people call them the MOL, the Ministry of Labor, right?
Yep.
But their actual name, you know what their actual name is?
No.
The ministry. So I'll just give you the acronym first. It's Multisted.
What?
It's the Ministry of Labor, Training, and Skills Development. So it's MOLTSD, Multisted. So don't say that too many times fast.
It's very
you might
catchy.
not enjoy it. But I really don't like the way that our ministries keep getting renamed because it reminds me of 1984, right? Where you go the Ministry of Peace, the Ministry of Truth, and whatever. Nice. Fuck. That, to me, that's Buster Keaton right there. Buster Keaton at his finest. But the one that bothers me the most is we used to have a Ministry of Environment. That was the old term. Everyone still calls it the MOE, Ministry of Environment.
Right.
So they changed it at one point to what is easily the dumbest name ever, the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, MOECC.
Okay.
Which is just so dumb that even they didn't agree that it should stay. So they got rid of that.
I was hoping you were going to say the Ministry of totally not plowing things down for apartment buildings.
Well, and it does depend on who's in, you know, the premiership. That does matter. But they have renamed it the Ministry of Environment, Conservation, and Parks. And I'm just thinking, I'm pretty sure the thing that you conserve is the environment, and I'm pretty sure parks are places that showcase the environment. So I think you could just stick with the Ministry of Environment. It's people wanting to put their spit in the soup.
Yeah,
That is totally what it is.
Don't go putting too much thought into it when you're discussing government. It's not exactly a fully thought out thing for the good of the people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem with the argument, is that, like, I went through this multiple times, two jobs in a row, where I just kept going like, shit just don't make sense. Why is it that shit don't make sense? And then I realized it's not supposed to make sense from your perspective. But if you shift your perspective, once it makes sense, that's who wants it to be that way. And it brought me to this pretty profound conclusion that everywhere in the world, at every level of management, things are the way they are because the people in control want them that way. It's not because we're out of resources or a lack of education or any of the bullshit that people will say it is. They want it that way. That's how it is. Don't make sense? Think about it from someone else's perspective. Starts making sense? That's probably the fucking guy keeping it the way it is.
Right. Even if the reason they want it that way is because they're just too lazy to change it, that's still the way they've decided they want it.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that is entirely fair because there's things that we don't have control over, but they're fewer and farther between than we would like to admit. Right? There's so many things that we could change, but there's never the desire. There's never the will to do it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, you know what? I think I screwed up the acronym. There's an I, so it's not multisted. I think there's actually an I between the T and the S because immigration is also part of the Ministry of Labor. Even though we have a Ministry of Foreign Affairs that you would think would be concerned with foreign affairs.
Which is the ministry concerned with slowly turning Canada into a big pot of Orwellian stew?
I believe they call that the PMO, which is the Prime Minister's office.
Oh, it's direct. Oh, okay. I see. I just saw a great.
Those are shots fired. If you couldn't tell, Desperado people.
Desperado people. The first YouTube short I have ever seen about local politics was a shot from 2010 when Trudeau said, "This is not the path towards removing your guns," and then a clip from 2023 saying it is no longer okay to do any of the 8 different things you can do with handguns in Canada.
Yeah,
and he says it in his fucking weird, like, synthetic robot human voice. Like, I am human.
Yeah.
I understand things like you.
Knockout. Oh my god.
Yeah, you can knock dogs out.
Yeah.
You think Trudeau doesn't knock dogs out in his wedding dress?
What I don't understand is if I'm going backpack camping or whatever, like especially if I live in BC, I want a handgun. Not that you're gonna necessarily win the fight against the bear, but it's gonna be a hell of a lot better than if you don't have it.
The problem with governance in general is that representation is rarely ever done correctly. I mean, there was an entire fucking country built on the idea that they were not being correctly represented.
Yeah, no taxation without representation.
Yeah. And I'm supposed to steal this. I'm supposed to use my perfume bottle to get that guy. And then pickpocket this lady.
Not obvious
slowly.
at all.
It's not obvious at all. It's fine. It's almost like pulling the wool over someone's eyes and taking their guns. Not obvious at all.
And so wait, are you escaping? What the heck's going on here?
Yeah, I'm a bride to be.
Oh, like a not consensual bride to be.
Yeah, kind of like all of them back then.
At that time?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I watch A Knight's Tale.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to woo this one princess, and then the other guy's like, well, I've entered negotiations with her father because I actually know how these things work.
I've entered negotiations with her father.
Gross.
It is.
But you also have to understand, like, it's her father's job to make sure that she is safe. Right? So it's her father's job to find someone that can keep her safe.
Yeah, basically. Right?
Especially because, I mean, quite frankly, she's a princess, so she's probably more of a political pawn. Right? Like when you're nobility and royalty, you don't get married for safety, you get married for political alliance. Well, which is why Victoria was so successful.
The really interesting thing about Sansa Stark's whole story is that she's traded like a political pawn so many times that by the time she gets any power out of her, she has been treated like nothing, like she doesn't matter. So she's got this massive chip on her shoulder and no trust for anyone, especially men, especially rulers who are men, right? So like she has one of the best arcs. Unfortunately, we focus a lot on the arcs that didn't get done well. But yeah. Sansa's arc is beautiful. It takes 8 full seasons to get there.
Well, and she generates real political power in a way that's actually pretty similar to her mom. where Catelyn Stark is the daughter of a nobleman, but she's also not.
Sorry, I
not
thought
fuck this up.
I thought I was allowed to be there. I don't know why.
No, you're not allowed to be anywhere. But yeah, she is respected and followed because the people know her. Sure, they know her through her husband, but if she was just some wife, they wouldn't follow her the way that they did. Right? They know that she is a powerful woman and a strategist.
Mm-hmm.
And so is Sansa. Not at first, but eventually.
Arya also has a good story.
They just rushed it. They rushed the whole thing.
Of course they
I
rushed
would have gladly watched 12 seasons of Game of Thrones, and instead they decided, nice haymaker. Instead they decided, let's just do it in 1.5.
Yeah, we've taken our time so far. You guys want to just like get lunch?
Yeah, let's rush.
Yeah, the what I would have done in a generalized, not like the specifics that I would do, but you know what? Actually, I don't really want to do that. I'm just gonna
Just leave them.
Just gonna climb in here. What I would have done is I would have had the show build up to its ending, and then I would have had the climax be at the end of the 8th season, and then a 9th season to indicate that shit's gonna go sideways again, because the show begins at the end of a 17-year peace, predicated on 2 best friends being the king in the north and the king in the south. And so the whole thing, and then one dies and the other one is accused of being the killer, and it causes fuck me. Yeah. It's extra people now. Oh, and I'm being shot at.
Wait. Say that again. So, who are the friends?
Rob Baratheon and Ned Stark. They're best buddies, and they both get each other their positions at the end of the Mad King's reign.
Right, but no one. I don't think anyone thought Ned Stark killed Robert. He was killed for trying to usurp the throne.
Right, but then they also said, well, maybe, yeah. Well, yeah, you're right.
He was killed by a boar. I don't think anyone thought
added that part.
Everyone also knows he's an idiot, so I don't think anybody was giving too much credit to his killer.
Right. Okay. But anyway, he was accused of taking the throne.
Yes.
Right. So then that starts a shitstorm that goes on for the entire show.
Yes.
So the end of the show, they pretty strongly imply that we're just out of it now. We're good.
Yes.
Like the time
the
time of turmoil is over.
Yep.
Things are only going to be better now. All of your favorite people are at the table, and from now on we're just good. We're fine. Don't worry about it. I would have spent the last season implying that we're just going into another set of fuck your illiterate mother.
Yes.
That's what I say all throughout my Desperados playthrough. On Desperado.
Well, fortunately, there's a lot of illiterate mothers, so makes that easy.
Yeah, that's true, isn't that? Isn't that true?
Yeah, and I tend to agree. I'm pretty annoyed with the concept of, and then it all worked out. It's not enough. My favorite movies are the ones where you get to the completion of the story that you're in, and then they allude to another story that may or may not happen. And I think actually one of the best examples I just watched recently was Dread.
Oh, Dread
because
is
not
great.
only is that just a fantastic film start to finish, but they don't end it by going like, okay, and then, everything was good from then on. They end it with this sort of, what do we feel about this character? Like, this character has said that she quit, but then she was also given a passing mark. So there's, this brewing future possibility.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily need to know what happens. And I don't mean like fucking Godzilla where there's an egg that hatches, like, ooh. I mean something that's, gives you some concept that life goes on, right? You don't just defeat the bad guy in Peach Mansions and all of a sudden the rest of the world is fine. You still live in I think that's what it was called. Peach Peach trees.
Peach Tree.
Brick mansions. That's the one I was thinking about.
Oh yeah.
Which is just this half-assed sort of Fast and the Furious knockoff with
with Buddy Boy. Wasn't it the last movie?
Paul
he was in,
Walker.
too?
Yeah. If not, it was the second last. Yeah. And it was it was like the stupidest idea. It was like the crime got so bad in this city that in this one portion that the city built a wall around it. And I'm thinking, hold on. They built this 20-foot wall around this part of the city to keep the crime contained. But it probably took them 6 years to build this wall with like construction crews, right? And all this other stuff. I'm like, you don't think that would have been more effort than just cleaning it up? But whatever. For the fun of Hollywood. Like, oh, what if they had a community that was walled in?
Well, that's like the premise of a show.
Get him.
Fuck.
He got you.
How far back?
Oh no.
The premise of a show is important, and if you don't get that right, it's really frustrating. It's like, I get you want a story where there's this unusual aspect. Like, I've seen many shows try the in a world without guns thing, but it's so fucking lame. It's so boring the way that they try to make it sound like it's real.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the most important thing to me is coming up with something that doesn't require a lot of explanation. So one that was actually really good was Children of Men.
Oh, that's a great one.
Where they just say babies just stop being born. And you're like, there could be one of a million reasons that happens, but it's not impossible, right? There could totally be a world where people are just not fertile anymore.
Yeah.
But then you do get into some, where you're like, a world without guns, really? Like, is this like that episode of The Simpsons where they throw all their guns in an incinerator and then they need a nail board to fight an alien? Right?
That's such a good example. It's such a funny satire. It's unfortunate that Simpsons got away from satire.
Which, it's whole purpose.
Now it's just it's just like,
stop with your feet there, buddy.
What?
I think people can hear that.
Oh.
Yeah. People can hear your toes in their ear,
Oh.
which is rude.
Well, no, it would just be a rub.
Yeah, you're rubbing your toes in their ear. That's even ruder. Rude there.
Okay.
Anyways,
I was doing a. That was the Homer
that was the
impression.
Simpsons scream. Yeah.
But I was doing a Tina impression from Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah.
Did you know that the mom is also played by a man?
No.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense actually when I hear when you listen to her voice.
Babby.
That's so funny. That actually sounds like a Boston or like
fucking
New York comedian.
Did you see? Look at these seagulls.
What am I missing? Which one was the seagull?
The women look like seagulls.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it looked like a hysterical lady, but all right. Yeah. One. I saw a theory about The Happening, where somebody tried to connect Signs and The Happening with After Earth. His contention was that it was all one story.
And they're all part of the same pretentious filmmaker group?
They are all, yes, made by the same guy.
Are they?
And yeah, they're all M. Night Shyamalan movies.
After Earth, Signs, and what?
And The Happening.
Oh, that was Shyamalan. Okay.
Yeah. And so the concept was that The Happening, even though they had this theory about how it was plants, it wasn't. It was actually a biological attack.
Right.
And then Signs was like them arriving for the very, very first time. And then After Earth was, thousands of years later when all of the humans had vacated the Earth and these creatures were allowed to evolve into what they eventually became.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's the same thing I say every time After Earth comes up. The concept, it doesn't matter if you have a high caliber actor like Will Smith saying it with conviction. Nothing evolves to do things it doesn't do. That's not how evolution works. He says that everything on planet Earth has evolved to kill humans. No, it's evolved to kill bigger things because everything is big, so they all have to get bigger to kill bigger things.
Right.
And
they
humans are smaller.
evolved to kill walruses or whatever,
Right.
but they'll also kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a good point.
It's
There's
just
a lot of
such a silly-
the start of that movie, there was a lot of just ham-fisted setup.
Yeah.
Where it was just like, so you're in a world and there's these dangerous things and like they'll all kill humans.
Yeah.
And so
And it's like,
they're blind.
My dad was the best of them, and he used to not be scared of stuff. And so it turns out all you have to do is not be scared, and then you have nothing to be feared about. That makes sense. That's a good
read
enemy
your
to fight.
Fear, yeah.
And we're for some reason bringing one with us. That's why it escapes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The what is it called? Ursa,
maybe?
Urbla. Ursa means bear.
Yeah, they're kind of bearish.
Yeah, it's like, why did we brought one? Why did we bring one?
Because we don't know any better. We can't help ourselves. So you have to get in there to where she's hidden?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have to get
It's a lot of alarms.
Enter the main lodge again. Oh.
Are you entering on the wrong side?
I could have just... Oh, my God.
So you went all the way around.
Actually, no. I would have had to come all the way through here.
Which would have been its
a
own
lot. So,
challenge. Yeah, okay.
I thought for a second there that I just didn't need to do any of that.
There was just an easy path up.
On the harder difficulty, there's a guy who runs over here under these boxes. So I was waiting for him, but he's not here.
I was wondering why there was boxes to topple on nobody.
Instead of killing a man, he just was never born, which I don't know if is any better.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like in school when you get a no mark. It's like 0 out of 0.
That's not how it works, though.
Yeah, it kind of is.
I don't think so.
Whether 'tis better to be born or to be unknown completely, that is the question.
Born or unborn?
Yeah.
Or Jason?
Well,
born?
quite frankly, this game definitely begs the question about suffering slings and arrows. Is that guy?
Slings and arrows.
Yeah, that's like the famous Hamlet line. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to do something else. Because I forgot the rest of the line. I like outrageous fortune. It sounds like a really awesome line. I can't tell if that guy's hunched over because she kicked him in the nuts, or if he's just doing things at the desk. Because you knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's done. Nothing I can do
We
now.
can't hear this, so it's kind of wacky to watch. But she shoots him.
Oh, good for her.
She's like, "Fuck you,
I have to
bitch."
warn
See,
Mom.
he's all dead on the
Let's
table.
get out of here.
Dead on the table.
You ever heard of a guy called
Man.
Frank?
And now you're hiding behind an
Let's
open
discuss it
railing.
on the way,
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
No chance we'll get
There's a
there.
weird thing. I don't know
Got some
if
serious
this
firepower.
happened
You know how to pull the trigger of a Gatling
because
gun?
I think I bought this
Sure
game on the
do.
It's a
PS4
wedding
first,
present.
and then this is now on the Xbox. But there's this problem that I because I'm a very sensitive guy. I'm trying to find the clear space so I can show it to you. So there's this shadow on the ground that moves. See that? See how it's like this faint thing in the background that it's all the way across left to right, and it's moving as I'm doing
Yes,
this. See
top to
that?
bottom. Yep.
And it's
Like
way
a
more
blind.
pronounced in some areas, and it
Huh.
really bothers me.
And I wonder what that's related to, because it doesn't seem like it's 100% intentional.
I think it's depth. I think it's the relative z-axis.
Hmm.
It might even be to demonstrate how far away you are with the camera. But
Interesting.
so we're trying to get out here to this Gatling gun,
Oh Jesus!
which is actually
A present!
It's a present to
It's a
her
wedding
as a wedding
present.
gift. Yeah, it's this game. The passion that went into this game is unfucking real, dude.
I know that a true
see,
woman.
oh, there he is. Oh,
Huh?
they needed us to murder that man. Oh, okay.
I know that a true woman likes real firepower.
is that Barbosa?
Yes.
Who else would it be?
Best started believing in cowboy stories, Missy. You're in one.
You're in one.
And I can just see her like, not in this situation, but I can just see a blushing bride, going up and running the Gatling gun in her wedding dress, and you just see it flapping and flowing in the wind as the explosions go off.
Can you offer me something in exchange?
So
Mr.
her perfume
My
works
undying
really
love until
well
we escape.
I'll take that
with
Then what
me
else?
because the perfume
and sit.
reduces vision like this.
Whoa, that's awesome.
But see how there's still a hatched line near him,
After all.
Yeah.
which means I can't just charge right at him and he'll still see me.
Ah,
It just means
okay.
it reduces. So what we want to do actually is go up here first and get this woman's disguise that the woman played that
that the wife can go in.
Kate can.
So she's your wife now?
No,
This is my wife.
no, I think she would be very offended if you called her the wife.
I never said she was the wife. I said she was your wife.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Well, you don't want to be a wife generic. You want to be a wife specific.
Right?
Don't you?
Yeah.
I want to be a wife specific, so
Yeah.
stands to reason.
So, I'd really like to end the episode with the Gatling gun, but it's going to take too long to go and get the disguise. So, we're going to have to beeline.
So today we're gonna be Russian.
Yeah. If that's how you would say it.
That's how I said it. It had to be Sid.
Harmless sneeze.
You
Take one.
you hear anything about the Machine movie?
Yes, I saw an advertisement for that.
So crazy that he didn't even think it was a good enough story to tell at all.
To tell, yeah.
And it turned into
A blockbuster movie.
What the biggest story that he has in his act. To explain, Bert Kreischer told a story where I actually haven't even heard it, but I'm guessing someone calls him the Machine by the end of it. And whoops.
I can't believe you haven't seen it.
Whoops.
That you haven't heard the story.
I've heard it spoken of for like 10 years. But the thing is, the longer I go, the better it's going to be because Bert gets better and better at explaining it, right? Because
To a
now
degree.
he can tell the joke. Now he said he can change how long it takes, and he can dial it into whatever.
Right, so
time
he can tell the
expectation.
full version, the
Yeah.
semi version, and whatever. Yeah, yeah. It's a crazy story about him when he went to visit Russia, and yes, someone eventually calls him the Machine.
Yeah, he was saying that in Russian, machine is car.
Yes,
So he said it was very awkward. People were asking him questions, and he's like, yes, machine. And they're like, you're what? You're the car?
Best
well, because
regards.
that's I only know that because of John Wick.
Yeah.
Go back to your save. Because in John Wick, he like massacres all of Peter Stormare's guys.
Yeah.
And then he walks in and he's like, "Where is my machina?"
Right.
Yeah.
That's actually the same example that they used when Bert was selling it to
No
Joe.
way.
He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, because and then they played that scene,
Popular.
the whole scene where he's
shit.
like, he's not the boogeyman. He's the man you send to kill the
the
boogeyman.
fucking
Why?
man.
Oops.
What are you doing?
I accidentally saved.
Get your shit together.
Saved.
I've never. I don't know if I ever actually watched John Wick 2 in full. So I just did recently, and now I really want to see the third and the fourth.
Bless your heart.
They're interesting because
Let's get going.
I'll just make sure I got that right. Because they get better, but there's a sort of diminishing returns effect on a man killing that many people. And I noticed in the second movie, I think it was, there was this scene where it just felt like every enemy was running into where his bullets would be. Like they were just like, well, he's aiming here, so I'll put my head right there.
Yeah. Definitely in the catacombs, that was the
All
thing.
ears, darling.
Yes, that's where it was.
Yeah, and there was certainly some issues. Like, then there was also, like, them walking through the subway, like, kind of shooting silenced pistols at each other.
Yeah.
And, like, people would notice that. There's no way that would be, you know, under the cover of darkness, like they kind of imply that it will be.
Yeah.
But what I do like about it is that it's not a movie about a guy who can just shoot everybody dead. It is a movie about the most deadly assassin that has ever existed and the falling out that he has with the criminal world.
Yep.
So when you kind of look at it in those terms, and it's not, you know, because I thought it was just going to be 4 movies like Shoot 'em Up.
Yep.
But Shoot 'em Up only works as a standalone for that exact reason, right? Because once you try and do like Shoot 'em Up 2, 3, and 4, you really start to lose the magic of it.
I have fully John Wick this moment. You could not get away with that even on normal. I just killed like 8 or 9 dudes in a row, lost a bunch of health, and
Pretty
just
impressed.
kept going. Oh, this guy's waking up. Oops.
This is also
to sleep.
something where this is why you don't face check bushes. If you think a bad guy is, PSA. If you think a bad guy's in a bush, just shoot a bunch of fucking bullets into the bush. You don't have to walk into it like a desperado.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in Siege where you're just like, I got too many bullets, so
Herpaderp.
just put them in there. It only takes 1 to get a headshot. I was playing the original Ghost Recon the other. Uh-oh. Kate's being murdered. Oh, that guy woke up. You're supposed to.
I do love that he
Supposed to
goes
time
from
up.
shooting her in the face to waiting to see what she's gonna do.
He's a cowboy, baby.
Oh, he's a cowboy.
I was playing the original Ghost Recon, and you can kill your teammates in 1 shot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because as soon as I got in, I was like, the controls are whack. So I'm just trying to figure out how the game works. And the only thing I could figure out how to do was move and shoot. And so I was just like, I wonder. And so I just shot the first guy and just immediately died.
Good to
I
know.
thought, wow, 1 bullet. These were hardcore games, man.
Oldest trick in the book.
Oh, I thought you meant you had 1 bullet
They
left.
did not make him like that. No, I found bullets in this chest over
Is she
here.
bloody?
Yeah, she's covered in
Oh
blood.
my god.
She's the bloody bride.
Yes. Yes, I've always wanted one of those.
I am the bride. I'm the bloody fucking bride. With a goopy mouth. I'm sorry about that,
How many
listeners.
guys is there left? 4?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a dog.
Okay.
But we're gonna try our best to. We have to kill the dog. Unfortunately, there's no way around that.
Oh, so yeah, I guess the dog's an actual problem.
Yeah. We could go. I could send her up there. So I'm really abusing this system because it's on easy. You can't do that in.
Yeah. And I was noticing that earlier. I was like, this is greasy.
Yeah,
Some
like,
really greasy moves.
on normal, hard, and especially Desperado. You don't even have. It doesn't even tell you. It's just like boom, they got you.
Ah, okay.
And you get, because of the quick save, quick load system, you very quickly get used to dying, repeat, die, repeat. And so the sounds of failure become so fucking annoying.
They're ingrained,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah, it's just like this weird like boo sound while the you've been caught music starts playing. And then there's this music for when they're after you that gets old quick.
I see. And so what are you going to do? Knife this first guy?
Yeah. I'm going to take that vision cone down. Carry my motherfucker.
Oh, you're actually going to hide him? Oh, very nice. That was slick. I can just imagine this guy standing on this balcony getting perfumed every 2 to 3 minutes and not telling a goddamn soul what's going on.
Well, you know, I just kept getting hit in the face by random perfume bottles, but I didn't think it was somehow connected. Like, why would I?
Figured it was just the lady of the house.
Must have been the wind.
Must have been the wind.
See, one of my favorite things about this game is when you got like a vision cone like this, and then you see that spot where the statue is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like perfect. Someone lands in there, and you just go pachow. Like if you have McCoy, you just shoot somebody as they're walking through that little blank
Right.
space, right?
And then they're never going to be seen.
Yeah, and then you make sure that you intercept whoever's walking by who will see the other side of the statue.
So what's the plan?
I don't have a plan right now. It's not great.
Who's next on the chopping block?
Well, I'm talking about it and I'm not even noticing it. But that guy is in the side. He's in the station wagon's blind spot.
Yeah.
So this guy up here,
That guy's got to
is
go.
gonna have to be the next guy. It's like old video game level detection. It's like Oblivion style. Like,
Ooh.
what? Must have been the wind.
Must have been the wind. Yes. Very much so.
So we're gonna. I also forgot to tell you there's a fast forward.
Yeah, and I did notice you use that once. But
So he goes over there. Oh, that's a rough.
Sniff on this.
Okay, throw that so that I can do this. So I can do this and that and this and
keep running. Ah,
damn,
too many guns. Too many guns.
damn.
The alarm is definitely a big problem because like you can't take 5.
Yeah. Oh, all I have to do is get over there. He's way out of that area. So
Yeah, so you just gotta sneak past. You try to
Oh.
kill him a little too quickly.
I don't have to go up. I don't have to go down. I can go up.
Go up where?
The balcony.
Oh shit, you can.
I can just go up and behind him. I don't even have to.
Can you play on fast forward or do you have to be stationary?
No. That would be really interesting though. Just oh no.
Wait, you can't kill him?
I don't even have to.
Well, it might help with all the others.
Yeah, he's only seen by that guy. Okay.
And he won't be seen as soon as that guy turns around.
I wasn't sure how this would play out as a
Because
let's play.
he's not going to see him once this guy's dead. Right? Because he'll be lying down.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if this was going to play out well as a let's play, but I think we found a nice balance.
Yeah, I think it's been lots of fun. Because yeah, strategy games can sometimes be very counterproductive to let's play.
Yeah, we're also good at it now.
True. And honestly, as soon as that guy... Oh, I'm trying to think about where the vision cones are on the far guys. But the guy that's closest to you, you could probably just shank him almost any time.
Whoops.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Like
Missed a statue blind
Like
spot.
they fucking planned it or something.
Whoever this dude is on the statue, I like him.
Well, it's actually not his statue. He's the guy who got murked.
Oh, good. I like him even more now.
But it's also the bottom portion, the portion that's got nothing to do with him.
That is true. He's standing on the work of better men. So at this point, can you just blast the two of them, or is that going to set the alarm off?
Let's raise them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's get
Yeah, I
going.
don't see why not. Oh, I did kind of forget about the far one.
Yeah.
So she's going to knock him out. I'm going to knock you out.
Yeah,
Mama said
Mama
knock
said-
you out.
said
Be my guest, Mr. Cooper.
shabow, shabow,
Here's a
shebang, kaplow.
And then can you shoot that dog too? Not that I condone shooting dogs, but
Shit. Get on the thing!
oh
And now-
god.
What? 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 I just got shot off the Gatling gun!
So when you get shot, you stop using it? Seriously?
I guess so.
Well, that's disappointing. So where the hell are you?
Okay, we're still good. We
Because even that guy's
You know what I
dead,
think
yeah.
the mistake was? Oh, no. Why did those guys hear me?
They were pretty close.
No, I think it's because the targets I was after. Yeah. They made a noise. That's probably what it was.
Okay.
So what we actually need to do is wait for these boys, because I don't think that this guy is seen. We can just carry him back. And she can only knock him out, and she has to tie him up. Or she can't tie him up, sorry. But I think if she drops them... No.
Easy now.
Looks like she can re-knock him out, though.
No, I can hold on to him, and then he just won't... He won't expire.
It's hilarious. Every 3 minutes, you just club him one more time.
Yeah, he just keeps waking up. I smell perfume.
She's just got a chloroform rag over his mouth right now.
Good killing.
I could knife that dog
Do
in
it.
the... Or if they're going to do that,
Watch
then
and
I
learn.
could do it when they're not looking. Or when when he's out of the radius.
Mind if I get to know that Gatling gun?
Be my guest,
Or I
Mr.
could
Cooper.
just
Two's better than one.
shoot both of these guys. Oh, I was in the fucking... the gun
That's why.
radius.
Yeah.
Like a giant dingle.
Eyes on the prize.
There you
Okay, there we go. Save.
go. I'm a professional. I don't need
It's
your help.
important. just have her hold that guy.
Hey, boys.
Oh my god. Use skill.
And I do, in fact, oppose this marriage.
I object. Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, that is Gatling gun for you.
Setting this thing up on the harder difficulty, there's like 15 guys on each side.
Oh my god.
And you're just like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
So like that's not even the hardest part. Like getting the gun is easier than actually using it.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. I've got them. Oh, never mind. Okay. I was confused.
Listen, Mr. Cooper.
And that's
Oh, and that's that.
Oh,
You drive a hard bargain, Miss.
Almost. Now that's that.
okay. End of there's like a man just working on
And scene.
there's a man just working on a fucking Hector was there the whole time?
Yeah, you didn't notice that at the start of the level. He just like lies down.
I saw him leave. I didn't know he was hanging out. I thought he was like, I must go, amigo. And that's it.
Oh, so this is her first.
Yeah. And then me over there.
The long route.
All the way around. One of these days, we're gonna draw a penis.
If you were able to
Because
coordinate
that's
that.
the thing that if it's funny to draw, then it's a penis. That is the joke.
That is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Massacre 1.
Yeah. I was basically rolling on men while shooting them in the head. Wick style.
And then, honestly, Massacre 2 is actually smaller than Massacre 1.
Yeah, watch this massacre.
There's still only 6 men. I think you killed way more than that up there.
Absolutely.
Oh, beautiful.
All right, well, that was Desperados 3.
Yeah.
I
Sweet.
can't see us coming back because it's kind of hard to do, but it was fun. Had a good time.